Welcome to Moto Mindset of Successful Thinking. Moto is short for motivation. Troy Smith here, and we're here with Aireka Harvell, and that's Aireka with an A.
Yes.
Not an E. I didn't know you could spell Aireka so many different ways. But we have her here today from Nodat, Nashville. As you all, there you go. She gonna breathe. There you go. Now she can breathe because she been sucking it all in to make sure she can do what she needs to do. But look, so here we go. We're gonna be talking about today on this show. First of all, I'm so impressed by what she's doing. I'm so happy about what she's doing.
Thank you.
Regardless of nationality, but it is good to see African American women do their thing and grow. But you know, I don't like to always put the title of, well, you know, she is black or he's black, and they're doing so good and they're black. Right. Doesn't matter. It should be about the fact this person wants to be successful in regards to, regardless of race.
It should be that way.
It should be that way.
But
it
it's
always
not.
be. But you know, that's what it should be.
Yes.
So we're going to be talking to her today about her adventure, her story, you know, and that's what it's all about with mostmoto, the mindset of successful thinking. Everything starts here first. Everything starts in your mind first. So everything that you always concentrate on what we look like from the neck down, but we never think about what we have going on the neck up.
That's true.
You know, so it's about what we feed ourselves, how we see ourselves, and those around us will definitely see us that way too. So that's why it's always good to be positive, motivated, and inspired about what's going on. So I'm gonna let her introduce herself a little bit, and we're gonna talk about the title of Why Are You So Comfortable?
Yes.
Why are you so comfortable?
Why are you comfortable?
Why are you so comfortable?
I love that title.
Let's get to know Aireka a little bit. So tell us about you.
So I am a entrepreneur, founder of Nodat Nashville, which is a local guide app here in Nashville, which will soon be global. And
Yes.
We'll have Nodat California, Nodat Vegas. We actually have 15 cities in the app already, but we're focusing on Nashville. I used to work for AT&T here in the Batman building.
I need to scoot back a little bit. I wish I crossed my legs a little bit, but I don't want to be uncomfortable. I'm a little bit.
Yeah, you're supposed to be. We're talking about comfortableness.
Well, let's go ahead and tell us about Nodat and yourself some more. Yeah. Okay.
So, like I said, Nodat is a local guide app where we focus on Nashville, and we are kind of like Yelp, but we do video reviews instead of the regular text reviews or picture
And it's not
reviews.
just food.
No,
That's what you automatically think about when you start doing reviews. You start thinking about the food stuff.
right. One of the things that I wanted to point out is that the video reviews help you not make mistakes when you're hiring independent contractors, beauticians, nail techs, dentists, or anything that you really need word of mouth recommendations for. I was reading a Facebook recommendation one day. I mean, in like the Hip Nashville. And one of those groups. Yeah. There was a guy that hired a contractor off of a recommendation that was dropped in that group. He got for $2,500 down payment. The contractor ended up being a scam, and the person that recommended them was working with the contractor.
Is this what started your idea about Nodat? But that's just something you just seen?
Yeah, just something that I seen that I feel would be a huge benefit, for people, especially like elderly people who live alone. If they have to hire a contractor, they can go to Nodat, look at the video reviews, and if you have more than one person vouching for that person, or more than one person saying, do not use this person, you can make a wiser decision.
That's how it typically goes. Yeah, that's true.
And so we also thought about small business owners and how Nodat can help them spread the word of mouth about their business. Of course, small business owners rely on their customers 100% for advertising, because when you start out, you don't have the money to properly advertise.
Or you spend a lot of money to properly advertise, and you find out you wasn't properly doing it.
Exactly. You waste a lot of money. Oh, Lord, I could tell 1,000 stories.
We got plenty of stories about that. Myself, and she probably included, can tell you about that.
Yes. Our first year alone, our first month alone, we spent $6,500 on advertising.
And then how much of a return did you get from that?
No return.
None.
And
then they say, well, it's just the business woes. It's the beginning of business. And you start, no.
Yeah.
Now I got to pay a mortgage or something else. And yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But so we focused on that with building the app and created our algorithm to where businesses can use their customer social media platform to post for them. So like all y'all know about Facebook's algorithm changing, right?
Every time.
And so, but the algorithm has changed so drastically now that if you own a small business, your customer is going to be the most important part of your marketing plan, right? We've heard of influencers where businesses partner with large names. Well, a lot of times you can't even afford those influencers.
Yeah, and they just wearing it for free.
Exactly.
Look, I'm gonna tell you what, you get stuff for free when you become an influencer. So, you know, folks that they just wear like Kim Kardashian, for example, right? She don't pay for anything. You know, we always say the people that need stuff don't ever get it, and the folks that don't need it get it for free.
Exactly.
Because they know that if she's wearing it or if he is wearing it, then the people that follow them will do the same thing.
Yes.
That's what you hope to follow suit.
Yeah. Now that can have some huge returns.
Yeah.
For larger companies, but when you look at smaller companies, for one, it's going to cost you an arm and a leg to even just get that influencer. Then you have to question the effect of it, because people know that, oh, they're just recommending them because it's a sponsored ad.
Right.
Right.
Yeah,
and so what kind of real feedback would you get being on the local level? So it's all about localizing your business. If you're not a national business, you need to be focused on localizing it.
Yeah.
And then using the people who use your product or come into your store on a daily basis. Use their prime real estate on their social media page.
And that's where you come from.
That's where
you come in.
Yes. Yes. You incentivize your customers, and every time your customer posts about you, check in, share a video, play trivia with you, and share that game on their social media, they earn points, and then they can spend those points on exclusive coupons or deals that you may have put into the Nodat app, which keeps it going. And so basically, it's like we've created a 360 partnership with the business and with the customers. Yeah.
So you know what? So this is a big monster of an idea, right?
Yeah.
And it takes a team, it takes an idea, but all it starts is with one idea. And all you have to do is actually have one idea and go forward. Now, that don't mean you have to stop with that, because I'm quite sure some other things you may have thought about that did not work.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I didn't plan on this. Like when I first created Nodat, it was just to be a app where people could say, hey, did you know that this was over here, or this happened, or that? It was that.
They're taking the word that you use in lingo.
Yes.
And bringing it into reality. Look at that.
And then it grew into a business locator app, a business partnership app. We actually have Uber in the app where you can catch a ride. Like, you can do so much with Nodat. You have event planners who use Nodat to find venues, photographers, bakers, and you can create a bookmark folder in the app and have several different folders in the app, to where if you have different events and you use different vendors, then you can store all that information in each folder in the app, and it's just there right at your fingertips. So
you know what? So we have the idea. So you see a person, you know, we see these interviews and talk to people. And the good thing about Mostmoto, I feel like I'm with like Barbara Walters right now, because we got the nice little set in here, like Oprah type thing, you know.
Yeah.
But you know, we hear about these good stories, but we don't hear about the back end of the story, what actually got them to that level. Because like we were talking about today's title is called "Why Are You So Comfortable?" Right? So why are you so, and at the time when you're trying to move to do things, you cannot be comfortable. You know, you cannot sit in the same space and expect to see change, because that's what you becomes what they call it, insane. If you're doing the same thing but expect to change, you actually are insane.
Yes, exactly.
You know, so before you got to the know that, you had to have a moment in your life where it's like, something got to change. Because we haven't even got to you being a single mother, 4 children. Not 1, not 2. She's a part of the Real Mama and Daddy Club. She has 4 kids, and they're all growing. So it's not like little babies. They're going up. So, and then you're an entrepreneur, and you do this full time. At one time, you had a job where you worked at full time and didn't worry about you know, you had something coming steady.
Yes.
So we're going to get to that point. We know about the Nodat business founder, successful individual. We're at her house. This is her house. This is her setting. Okay, so it's a good thing we know about her in regards to the business, but let's truly get to know Aireka in regards to when you decided not to be comfortable anymore and to be an entrepreneur. Well, that makes sense?
That makes a lot of sense. One of the, this is going to sound really, really funny. So I went to college and I went to graduate school.
That's funny. You went to college?
Yeah, really.
Oh, God. Jeez.
Well, I had loans.
Yeah. Because, you know, a lot of people that are successful in life, they don't go to college, right? Oh, they went. That's another thing we hear about. Go to school, get your education, but it depends on how you actually were raised. Yeah. Because a lot of people we know that have students, there are, and that have education, they got something called a mountain of debt.
That's what
they call it a nightmare of debt, because it's like, okay, I have this, I got a master's, got a bachelor's, but now I have a ton of debt, or I didn't finish.
Yeah.
So go ahead. I'm sorry.
So that's exactly what I was getting ready to say. Like that mountain of debt is one of the main things that got me to thinking like, okay, what I'm doing right now is not going to be sufficient enough for me to be able to live off of once that mountain of debt kicks in. Because I was about to graduate graduate school, and I knew that my student loan payments were going to be astronomical. So I basically made the decision that I needed to make some changes now that would allow me to be able to pay that debt when the time came. So I started looking into different franchise opportunities first, is what I was looking at. It's like, okay, I can still work and then I could invest in a franchise. And that's what started that off. And it's not wise really to invest in franchises when you don't have a large amount of money.
What was the name of the franchise?
I was looking at a lot of them.
Yeah,
I looked at Chick-fil-A. I looked at the milkshake company, Smoothie.
One of them,
Smoothie King. Yeah. I looked at a lot of them, but it just didn't make sense for me at that time. And then something happened in my life that was, it broke my heart like really, really bad. And
you mind sharing what that was?
I kind of, well.
You don't want to, don't do it. If you don't want to, I don't want to make you feel, but this is good TV right here. We got some moments of draw you in.
Well, that's usually when that light bulb comes on in your life, when you go through one of the toughest things in your life. It wasn't the toughest. The toughest thing that I've ever gone through was losing my dad. And my dad was actually, he had predicted his death the entire week. He was telling everybody he's about to die. The night before he died, if you've read my book, you know that I was in an
you got a book?
Relationship. Yes.
You are an author? Yes. No, I really didn't know that.
Yes.
I didn't know that. This girl's there we go. You never know who you. That's why it's important to be able to rub shoulders with folks.
The name of my book is Find the Beauty in Your Now.
Look at that.
And it talks about what I went through since I was 9 years old to now. When I was 9, I overheard a young lady that was friends with my parents. My parents were pastors. And it was a Caucasian lady that used to go to our dad's church. And my sister and I would go over her house after church. And this particular Sunday, I walked in and heard her telling her son not to like my sister because she was pretty, but that he should like me because I was ugly. And that stuck with me.
Oh, well, it hit you?
It stuck with me.
That did? And she's not, I mean, come on. That gotta hurt you. Yeah. Words, remember we talked about the importance of what you say. The importance that that's deep. Go ahead.
I went into her room, to the little girl's room, and cried. And I never told anybody about it because I was embarrassed. But at that moment, I started processing and trying to figure out how can I get people to love me if I'm so ugly. Then I have to make them love me for who I am instead of what I look like. And I never saw my beauty until last year.
Oh, this was just recent?
Yeah. Last year is when I first realized that I'm not
So when people would tell
person.
you that you're beautiful, you like, okay, whatever.
I didn't know how to accept the compliment. I didn't believe it.
So you probably got into all type of different relationships for the purpose of.
I went through a lot. I was on. I ran away from home when I was 14. I was on cocaine.
No, you would.
I was on cocaine bad. Yeah.
At 14?
At 14, all the way till probably 21.
Come on, girl.
Yeah, bad. And that's in my book.
You see how she dropped it in there. That's when you know you gotta start writing, do something, because look, it's in my book. You got a book. They say, I want to read it.
No, seriously, but I want really women to read it. Men have told me how it's helped them, but I want women to read it because, for one, you go through things in life when you're younger because of situations like what I dealt with. You go through things in life, and it really affects the path that you take in life. And I feel like had I known how to deal with words like that then I probably would not have chosen the path that I chose. But I did have relationships where there was no love involved.
Just the other stuff.
Just the other stuff, and like deliberately other stuff, like
this is what we do.
Yeah,
you know the routine.
Exactly, and I accepted that.
Yeah, it's okay. At least you're keeping it 100.
Yeah. And then I finally met my husband. He was the first guy that ever wanted to date me. And my dad was so dead against it. But all I cared about was that, hey, this guy likes me. This guy finally, is interested in me, wants a relationship. But he didn't really want a relationship. And I talk about, that's a whole story that I
That's
talk
another
about
in your book.
In the book, yes.
But hold on, before you go to that, you said your dad was telling everybody that week of. That's why you gotta be careful what you say over your life. His words, his power and death of the tongue. So what made him even think that?
My dad was, he was, I don't want to say depressed. He was sad. The church really hurt him. There were a couple of pastors who kind of bullied against him. Like they kind of got together and they were a little jealous of his success, and they kind of boycotted him and pushed him out, and he didn't understand it, and he was hurt by that. He was so hurt that he couldn't see what he had right in front of him.
God, are you preaching?
I'm not trying to.
Because I was talking about today about the importance of looking where you come from. Because we always talk about, I'm not there yet, I'm not here yet, blah, blah, blah. And on today's Moto, if you haven't seen it, we're talking about the fact about looking, just turn around and see how far you've come, because you've come so far. And so when you think you're going through hardships and struggle, to say, man, look where I come from, though.
Exactly.
So he couldn't handle the success, or handle that, but not knowing what's in front of him.
Right.
So, yeah.
He was one of those people who would give his shirt off his back, literally. The ties went back to the members. He was an engineer at NES, and I mean, he made great money, but even that went to the members. He was that type of person. He really wanted people to come to God, and it bothered him so that these preachers were boycotting him. So like his last pastoral anniversary, they didn't show up, and that broke his heart. And I remember singing that song, Enlarge My Territory.
Oh, you sing?
Yes. At the
No, so you sing too?
Yes, I sing too.
I
used to direct the choir.
Oh, did you hear the weirdness about you sing, you write books, you done this, you was on coke, you done, you done been through all, you got what the heck else you got going on?
I told you my story is like this big. My story is huge.
Look. So see what I'm talking about? I'm sorry, we keep going back. We talk about your story matters. Your life matters, your thought matters, your ideas matter. You never know when you think that your story is not important. So they say, I don't really have nothing to say. Somebody's life is going to be changed because of what you're talking about today.
That's my goal.
And that's what Moto is all about. The mindset of successful thinking. We heard a successful thought about Nodat Nashville.
Yes.
We see that person, oh, she's doing her thing. She up speaking in front of folks and blah, blah, and smiling, but not knowing behind all that, this is the reason why she does it. This is what motivates her to get to where she needs to be.
And so back to my dad.
Yeah.
He couldn't see that he was doing the same thing in his community when I'll tell you like how he passed away. But if you read my book, you know that I was in an abusive marriage, and more so verbally and emotionally abusive than physical.
But it can be more
it was
traumatic than getting beat in real life.
Exactly. I say when you verbally or emotionally or mentally abuse somebody, it's just like taking a fist to their brain. It's worse than actually hitting them in the lip, because that heals. But then when you're telling somebody they're not this, or calling them out their name every other day, or neglecting them on purpose, or cheating on them in their face, and you know, and doing all that, it's literally a loop, a feedback loop that just continues. And until last year, I didn't know that my mind was not meant to harvest those thoughts. I thought that I was supposed to replay that stuff over and over in my head, because I was using my mind as a treasure chest or a suitcase for all of that.
But we're going to get back to your daddy, but how did you figure that out? Did you get any help with that, or did you?
There was a book that I read called Girl Code. That helped me.
Okay.
She basically said that nothing's going to change with the negative thoughts that you continue to have. Nothing's going to change. That's that insane thing. You continue to think about and do the same things, and you're expecting change, you're basically going to go insane. And so that's what made me realize that, wait a minute, so obviously I am having negative thoughts. And people, I didn't think that I was negative, because I was helping so many people and always smiling and this and that. But I was really negative because I was negative to myself.
Go back to your dad. We'll be here all day. Go back to your dad about how you said, and he was doing the same thing in the community that he didn't know he was doing.
And he didn't see the impact that he was doing, because he cared more about what those pastors were saying about him. So it really made him depressed and sad. And so the Sunday before he went on a fast, we were at the church, and he was like, I'm about to give all this up. And I was like, no, you're not. And he's like, yes, I am. I'm done. I don't want to do it no more. And so that Sunday he got up in church, and he told the members, that something was about to happen that was going to knock them off their feet. And he said, it's going to shock all of y'all. And he went on a fast that whole week at the church. That Wednesday night after Bible study, he sent everybody home but the women leaders. He had the women leaders stay after, including my mom. And he gave all of them jobs to do. And he said, I'm about to go home. He said, I want you to keep the saints together. He gave them all jobs to do. And everybody's like, what in the world is wrong with Pastor? Like, why is he talking like that? That Thursday night, I used to work at Dell, and I used to go to TSU during the day.
Yeah.
And Dell, I used to work at Dell from 6 to 12 midnight. I get home at midnight, and my husband had a house full of people, and they're smoking and drinking and rapping. And I just wanted him to clear the house out so I could go to bed. He didn't like that, and we got into a big argument, and he lunged at me like he was about to hit me, like he was calling me out my name and everything. His uncle got in between us to where he couldn't get to me, and I was able to get into the kids' room and lock the door. And I called my dad, and I talked to him, and he said, baby girl, he said, I need you to be strong. He said, he don't hit you now, but as soon as I'm gone, he's going to knock you upside your head. And I rolled my eyes, and I was like, oh my God, he's talking stupid again. And the call dropped. And I was like, I'm not calling him back because he's just talking dumb. And he got killed by a drunk driver. The next day at 6:30, that my husband and I went to a hotel the next day to try to make up for what happened. And my mom watched the kids. They were supposed to go to dinner, and they decided not to go to dinner. And my dad got on his motorcycle to take his mom $20, and he got killed by a drunk driver. The drunk driver ran the red light and hit his motorcycle, and he came up off the motorcycle head first.
What'd you learn from all that?
Faith, and how to, and when speaking things over your life, how not to give up when there's so much that I learned from that. There's a quote that I created. It's one of my posts on Instagram that says, like, your greatest heartbreak will teach you your greatest lesson. And there's so much that I learned from that. I learned how to have faith, and I learned that faith is real. Because my dad believed so much that God was going to go ahead and take him home that he actually went home. I believe that my dad was so hurt about other people and what people have said about him that he couldn't pay attention to the fact of all this other greatness that he had going on in front of him. So you have to watch what's right in front of you, or else you will commit what I call spiritual suicide. And then I learned that you can't worry about, I learned that words are very significant, and they do actually have the power of life and death. They actually do. And it's the word that was with God, and the reason why the word was with God in the beginning is because it's what created everything. He spoke everything into creation, and so you have that same power. And so I learned that, and I also learned how to filter out the negativity. At that time, I sat on the stairs, and I said, I wanted to die at that time. And I asked God, I said, you got to tell me. I said, there is a reason for all of this. I've gone through all of this, and yet I'm back in the same spot. It's like, you either go ahead and take me, or help me figure out what this reason is. And I got up from the stairs, and I went into Iron, and that's where God gave me Be That Woman. And Be That Woman is a blog that I started writing. That basically I used the blog to journal my way through the healing process of all of this, but it opened my eyes to so much. Be That Woman actually turned into Find the Beauty in the Now. So some of the blog articles, are in that book. But while I started writing the blog article, one night my son came in, and he's like, Mom, did you know there's a new water park in Murfreesboro? And I was like, no, how you know? So it's on Snapchat. And I was like, man, I said, so much is happening in Nashville, man. We need to create an app that says, hey, did you know this? Did you know that? And that's where Nodat came from.
That's where Nodat came from. That's a commercial. That's where Nodat came from. Did you know that? Cool.
Yeah. And so
through all the darkness, though, through all the issues you went through, sitting on the step, thinking that it's not going to work, you need to take me now. You got up and go iron your son come to you and say, hey, you heard about that?
Yeah.
And you said, man, we had an app in your darkness.
In my darkness. And then
God still came through and made some things happen.
He always does.
And you just got to turn around and see where you done come from to see where I'm going.
Exactly, yeah. And there have been even times, just like with me being a single mom in a CEO of a startup, it's hard. It is astronomically hard. That's that uncomfortableness that you're talking about. If you're comfortable and you are starting a new journey, then you aren't doing it right. And you need to go back and you need to search some more and pull some more out. But just being a single mom and a startup mom, there are times where I'm like, okay, God, why? This is what you really wanted me to do. You know, you're thinking like, wait a minute, this just can't be it because I've already, you know, I just named off to you.
It's funny how we can complain we complain about stuff that we didn't even start. The idea was given there, and we complain about, okay, what now? Like, dude, I take care of you.
Exactly, and that's what he always does, always. And then I'll say, okay, you know what, you are the bomb. I'll look up and be like, you are the bomb. It always gets to that point to where it's like right there.
When you better stop. And if you just go one more step, I'm telling you, just come closer. The door's gonna open. Just come on. I ain't going, and then you lose everything. That's why you can't be comfortable. Yeah.
Right. You need. Have you heard of that book?
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
Yeah, and it talks about that. You're 3 feet from gold, and it gets to the point to where it looks like there is no answer, but there is an answer. You just got to keep going. And then that answer will come. It's like when Jesus was being beat, right? And
he was past all that.
He could have died. He could have just said, you know what? I'm not letting y'all put me on the cross. Y'all don't beat me enough. Let me go and die right here.
Exactly.
Because
let me go and quit. I'm gone.
I can leave. He went to the Garden of Gethsemane. He was like, okay, please, find another way. You know, he warred against his flesh. He said, my spirit wants to do it, but my flesh is saying, heck no. You know. And so like he went through the beatings and all of that. And I tell my mom, like, he could have died before they put him on the cross, but it was the work on the cross that needed to be done.
No, preacher, look, she done got the send tithe and offering, gifts, everything.
Hey, send a donation.
Look at that.
GoFundMe, Capn't.
There you go. No, we're gonna get to that we'll be here all day. So the thing is that I want to end it off with the fact of, because we're gonna make sure if you want to know more about Aireka Harvell's story, we have to get her book, because she's given us a full ton. As you can see, it's full of different jewels and opportunity. We found out basically how Nodat started. We found out how you could not continuously be comfortable, because when you be comfortable, you do some of the decisions that we don't want to make.
Right.
We get in relationships we don't need to be in. We start being a part of different people's lives we don't need to be a part of. And then you start understanding, you start speaking stuff over you that you don't need to be speaking over.
Exactly.
Even if you're in the faith, non-faith, whatever, regardless if you church or not, regardless you in the church or not, regardless you saved or not saved or religious or Buddhist or whatever, everything still starts with your mind. The reason why a lot of people, I believe, get involved with different nationalities, religions or whatever, because that's what made them whole at the moment where they were lost. Yeah. They get in relationships because when I was down, that person came to me, so I just follow what they follow. That makes sense? It
makes a lot of sense. So I'm very spiritual, but I don't do the organized religion. I go to church, but I'm not one of those people who, I don't like the whole judging people or my church denomination is better than your church denomination. I believe in one God, and I don't tell people, hey, you serve Buddha, blah, blah, blah. That's not what I do. I believe in spiritualness. I believe in love. I believe in motivation. I believe in Jesus Christ, that he, he is my Lord and Savior. Let me say that.
Yeah. So you're going to throw that out there.
No.
But the thing is, what you learn is that you judge, at least you're going to end up being judged.
Lest you be
but
judged.
Then also you start to learn that, I can't judge anybody. Exactly. I got so much stuff going on in my life. That's when you start seeing people that used to be pointing the finger. I used to be that guy. I used to be, you going to hell or this and that.
There's so much hatred in that.
But then after I went through stuff myself, I'm like, ooh. You gotta start putting the finger back at yourself. To start now, it's mercy and grace and love. You start learning more about that,
and it brings in more people.
That's a whole nother thing.
Yes.
We're not gonna get but we're talking about business and entrepreneurship and growth and all that other stuff.
But you can't really do that without God.
You can't do that. You can't do that without God. You can't do that without the right mindset. So I want you to go ahead and tell them how can they find more about Aireka Harvell and also the Nodat Nashville.
So you can download Nodat in the iOS iTunes Store or Google Play Store. Please like our Facebook page at Nodat_Nashville. And Facebook is just Nodat Nashville. Instagram is Nodat_Nashville. Go ahead and start uploading video reviews and sharing to your social media. My page is Aireka O Harvell on Facebook.
And we'll put that across the bottom so you can see how it's spelled and all that other stuff.
Yes.
And then also tell them, can you get their book from you?
You can get the book on Amazon.
Because apparently we want to know the story. I want to know more about the story myself.
My Instagram is the letter B, that woman. I have like 19,000 followers on there, where I talk to a community of women about just taking your power back. We are powerful. beings. We are an upgrade or an extension of the man, should I say. We're teammates, but together we make each other better. And I talk about just being a powerful woman. And that's why, I wrote the book, is to help women take their power back. And there was a man that told me he was in a verbal abusive relationship from a woman. So men can benefit from this book as well, to where you take your power back when somebody literally takes your power by speaking words over your life.
It's almost like slavery.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It really
Not
is.
almost, it is slavery.
It is slavery.
So, so we talked about a lot today. We talked about Nodat. That's the main thing. We got to know Aireka. But the good thing is we got to know about her story. And what makes her even more successful is that she was actually vulnerable with the audience, of actually saying, I've been there and done that. You can also do these things too. We've jumped all over the place. Yeah. But the fact is, we talked about how you speak over yourself. With the things you speak of yourself, who you surround yourself with.
That's
we
important.
Talked about the dreams and things like that. You'd be surprised, out of the mouth of babes.
Exactly.
The dream is, her son helped her birth the dream of Nodat Nashville.
Yeah.
So I want to just encourage you guys today with Moto in general, and anyone else to share the videos, continue doing that. Thank you all for being a part of that. But just hearing people's stories, your mind matter, your thoughts matter. Everything about you matter. Your life matters.
Your life matters.
The life matters, right? So everybody's life matters, right? That's what it comes down to.
Exactly. Yeah. Everybody has a purpose. In your story, God gave you that story for a reason. In your weakness, He's made strong.
Yeah.
So if you are in a situation right now, you need to ask yourself, well, how can God be glorified in this? And don't sit and complain and be like, oh, woe is me. Find the strength inside of you that God put inside of you, and use it for the glory of Him. We were talking the other day about what's right in front of you. What is right in front of you to help you take that situation that you think is not valuable and turn it into gold, which is why God gave it to you. And
then, so basically the question is, why are you so comfortable? Because when you're so comfortable, you cannot be used, you cannot move if you're comfortable. But when you become uncomfortable, meaning that you're not going to do what you're used to doing, you're not going to be used to calling yourself some type of name, because not just what people outside do, but what you say to yourself.
Yes.
So why are you so comfortable? Why are you so worried? You cannot continue to go forward or do anything different if you continually stay where you are and you're comfortable. So that's the question of the day. Why are you so comfortable? What are you going to do to not be comfortable any longer and no longer be abused mentally, physically, spiritually, and just be able to start living your purpose? That's what's most important. Live your purpose. Mostmoto.
Live your purpose, yes.
Nodat Nashville.
Yes, Nodat. Did you know that?
Did you know that? Look at that. So, hey, thank you all for tuning in. Thank you, Aireka.
Thank you for having me.
Being a part of the show today. Thank you so much.
I had fun.
Yeah, it's good, yeah. So it might be a part 2 coming up with this, because we got some more we can get into. It might be a pay-per-view or something like that. Okay. But either way, so hey, thank y'all. Y'all have a good day today. Remember, change somebody's life today, but most of all, change yourself. Nodat Nashville. You see it? There it is.